Dear sir, how could you do this to me? There's only like a few other things that I've had. Like at the time, I think I was 24 and I just wanted to try out different types of guys. Like, you know, the world was my oyster. So like I dated this guy who was much older. He was like 32. And I've never dated anyone that was more than like a year or two older or younger. So I was like, okay, you know, like let me try it out, right? It was so boring. We literally would have nothing in common. And like what made it worse was like he would keep on saying shit like, oh, maybe you're too young for that. Oh, do you know this? Or are you just too young for that? And I'm like,
oh my god, what?
I'm not like 5, you know, it's illegal to date me and have a conversation with me, bro. But like if you keep on saying like, oh, like we're just from different times, like you're so young and I don't know. And I'm like, you're not even giving me a chance. You just think of me and you look at me and I'm like, you know, like that's how he saw me. And it was just like, I was like, dude, deuces. Like I remember one time he was trying to like hang out with me. And at that time I just was like so bored of it. And I was like, dude, this ain't working. Are you having fun? I'm not having fun. We can hang out with friends if you want. But like, yeah, it's not happening right now. And I remember he would try to bump into me at clubs and stuff because at the time I was heavy going to clubs and partying. And he would like bump into me every now and then and be like, hey, how's it going? And I'm just like, yeah, good. What's up, bro? Just give him a high five. And he's like, okay, I hope you're having fun. And I'm like, yep. Ah.
Oh my god.
32 and 24, damn, this girl was wild. Yeah, I was trying out random things. I remember I was same year, I was 24 and I even dated a guy who was 19 because I was like, hey, maybe I like young guys. No. He was obsessed with me. It was so bad. Like his friends would literally call me and be like, he's a mess. Like he's saying like he can't meet another girl like you. You're the perfect one for him. And I'm like, okay, like he literally has not dated yet. Let him date. I'm sure there's gonna be many perfect girls out there for him. It's just like, it was okay. At the time, I had a conversation with him and I was like, okay, we're getting along. And then it got weird when I had to spot him and sneak him a alcoholic drink.
Oh god.
And I was like, I'm 24, man. This is not it for me. For 2 more years, I gotta do this. I'm like, no. Like, this is not happening.
Oh
I can't do this. I'm sorry. And he's like, no, but you're everything to me. And at the time, I remember he wore this navy blue Adidas tracksuit.
Oh god.
Like, the full set, the jacket and the pants.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very Korean high school look. I was like, look at you, okay? You're a child. Go date other childs.
Child.
Okay, go on with your boyfriends.
I actually forgot about my first boyfriend ever. When I was 14 years old and he was 18. And he was Filipino. Ew. Yeah, he was my only non-Korean boyfriend. He cheated on me. Like in front of me.
Damn.
Okay, so he was dating this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
He broke up with her and started dating me. And that girl clearly didn't like me.
Well, duh.
And then, yeah.
She got her ass dumped.
I know. And then one time I was just eating lunch, and then all these, like, people came to me and they're like, oh, your boyfriend's making out with another girl. And, like, honestly, since that was my first boyfriend, I did not care at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, no, come here, look. And literally there was, like, a wall, and right behind that wall where I was eating, they were making out.
Right.
And then
right in your vicinity.
Yeah, and then I was like, I don't care. And then my friend was like, oh, because I was just like, what why does that matter? Like, I just didn't care. I didn't even know, like, how to be in a relationship, you know? Like, what
Yeah.
are the boundaries? What's okay?
Oh.
What's not? So I'm like, well, he dated her before, so I guess
Wait, so was that like your first boyfriend?
first ever.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
freshman
okay.
year of high school.
There was one before my first boyfriend. It was
Uh,
in fifth grade. Oh, cute, doesn't it? Okay, okay. So basically, this
uh-huh.
guy, he was like, my friend, he think you're cute. And I was like, oh my god, so he has fabulous taste like this. I didn't like him, but since he liked me, I was like, well, that's like 50%. So, like, all I need to do is match the 50%, right? So I was like, okay, I'm down to date, I'm down to be your girlfriend. So we ended up being girlfriend, boyfriend. I had no idea what that meant. So, like, I would just stand next to him, like, because that's my duty as a girlfriend, right? Stand next to him. And then he'd be like, oh, do you want to go on a date during like playtime or something? Or like, what is it, recess time?
Oh, so
And I
cute.
was like, probably not. I want to hang out with my friends. And then I remember I like had to break up with him because I was like, oh, he doesn't go away unless I break up with him.
You had to.
Yeah, I don't like you. So we gotta break up. And he was like,
Oh my god.
and I remember in middle school, like our friend group was all friends. So like I would still like say hi to him in the hall. And then I remember that best friend who told me that his friend thought I was cute.
Yeah.
He came up to me and was like, "Stop waving at us. We ain't friends." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh.
But that was the end of that.
The next worst. Okay, I picked the violent one. I met him at a church school that I transferred into when I was 21. Like,
21,
when I was
21,
22,
21.
we started dating. He had anger issues, and he was so offended, like, over everything that people were saying, but he didn't have the balls to say it in front of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, while we were dating, this guy would pass and be like, hey, that was a really nice kick, or whatever, during soccer. And then he would be like, is he being sarcastic? I'm offended. What does he mean? I'm like, he just liked the way you kick or whatever. And he would just get overly offended. Like, not only that, towards the end of our relationship, we got into a huge fight. First of all, he didn't like me cursing or something near cursing. Like, he didn't let me say what the hell. He let me say what the heck. I couldn't say damn. I couldn't be like, oh my freaking god. Like, I couldn't say freaking. One time we were fighting in the car, right? And he's
Mm.
driving. And then I was so mad. I don't even know what we were fighting about. I was like, what the freak is wrong with you, asshole, whatever. And then he was driving, and then he went like this to me. And I was like, oh, you're gonna punch me now while you're driving. So everybody could die. And then I was like, I'm getting out of this car. So stop the car. And I was like, I'm jumping out. You almost punched me. And I was so shocked. He like raised his arm like this. So I was like, I'm getting out of the car, either park or I'm jumping out. And he was just screaming, no, no. So we were really close to like
I
our
can't
church.
imagine this guy yelling, so I'm like, "Ugh,
Ugh.
this is weird."
Yeah, he's like one of those where like everyone's like, oh, he's such an angel, but then he's like not. I don't know about him right now, but anyways, we stopped at a church that we were supposed to go to during like Friday, whatever.
Mm.
And I was like, just drop me off at church, please. And like at this point, I was begging him because I was so freaking scared. I was texting my sister and I was like, where are you? I'm gonna go to where you are. Like, I'm so scared, but I couldn't type like the full story because he kept looking over.
Ugh.
And then so he finally drove me to the church, but it was like so far away. Like the parking lot was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, can you please just drop me off closer? And then he was like, no, we need to talk. And then I was like, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm just so scared of you. So I got out of the car and started walking. And then all I hear is this sound. And then I look back and he just rams his head like running into a tree. Like just boom. It made such a big sound. And then he
Uh-huh.
just fell to the ground. And I was so scared at that point. I just ran into the church. And then I couldn't even make it into church. Like my legs were shaking and everything. So I shut the door behind me, like to the entrance. And I sat there and I started crying like crazy. And I was texting my sister, I'm at the door. Can you please come and get me? So then we went, and then my sister went to go see where he was, but he disappeared. And apparently he drove to my house where my mom was. He knelt down and he was like, "Oh, I think Satan took over me. I didn't know what I was doing, blah blah."
Ew.
So my mom drove his ass to the hospital and then called me, and I remember like I was with my sister and like a bunch of friends. Like I couldn't even tell them what was going on because I was
Yeah.
so scared.
Yeah.
And so like it was really late at night, and then my mom was like, "You need to come to the hospital." So I went, and he had stitches on his forehead,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't want to see him anymore. But my mom really liked him. Like
Well,
nothing,
yeah.
yeah, like everything before that was fine. He was nice, whatever. He like earned her respect and whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, she was like, "I think you should still stay with him and whatever. Like this was just this one time, and he said he made a mistake,
Mm-mm.
and he's a churchgoer, so I don't think he'll hurt you
Mm-mm.
again, blah blah blah." So then I continued dating him, and eventually like I moved to Jersey and he stayed in Tennessee, so then we just broke up, and he went crazy. He texted me every 2 seconds, "Please don't break up with me." He called my mom, he called my sister every single minute. Just going in
Oh.
circles, me, my mom, my sister, me, my mom, texting,
Oh.
emailing me. Who reads email?
Dear Sharon, how could you do this to me?
Yeah, and he told my mom he was gonna drive to New York. First of all, he doesn't know our address here, so I'll just
Mm-hmm.
ignore him. So we had to literally turn off our phones for a couple days because he would not stop. Yeah, isn't that crazy? And he would throw
Yeah.
things, even like beginning of our relationship when we would fight, he would just throw things like everywhere.
That's not good. Like,
Yeah.
so like even if they don't hurt you, just seeing that is like a lot, and it's really, really scary. I think that happens to people who just like have all these emotions and want you to know that this is seriously upsetting them, but they can't form words, so they go to those extremities. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you can successfully have a communication if you just take time and like think
Hmm.
about what you're thinking about. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember you telling me that story about how he was trying to punch you, and I was like, yep, that's pretty much done.
Yeah.
It's like literally just like few steps. It's like, pretending to punch you and then throwing things, and then all of a sudden those things get a little bit closer to you, and then
Hmm.
sometimes it'll hit, and then all like, it's just like escalating into like violence.
Yeah.
the That reminded me of one other thing that I had where it was like definitely the most uncomfortable one. It was like a thing, and it was right after my second serious boyfriend, right? And so I wanted to just kind of take things slowly. Basically, my second boyfriend, he was my first boyfriend after 4 years of not dating. So
Damn,
after,
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was like when I was like 21, 20. So I guess it was just like 2, 3 years. Anyway, the point is, I usually take things really slow, right? So with this guy, I met him in 노래방. I met him in karaoke. His friend came into the room. I was like, "Oh my god, you guys are three girls. We're three guys. You wanna hang out?" And then we were like, maybe." And so like my roommates, they like ran over to see like their room and to just kind of check it out nonchalantly, like go to the bathroom, but then kind of look over like that. They were like, "Oh yeah, I think they're pretty cute. Like, let's hang out with them, right?" So we like hung out with them, and that's how I met him, right? And then we got each other's contact information, and he was like, "Oh, we should hang out." And so basically, I went over to his house to watch a movie, right? My naive ass thought we were legit just watching a movie, right? But then he like came
You
on,
would.
yeah, and like he came on to me, and I was like, no, it's okay. I'm not really feeling
No,
that.
it's okay.
Like what I'm saying, where you're just kind of like, no,
Yeah.
not today, and then he wouldn't take no, like, as in like he just kept going, and I was like, wait, 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 like I'm actually really uncomfortable, and he's like, no, you're not, and then like he just kind of pushed through with that, and I was like, okay, that was really uncomfortable, but um, we ended up still talking on and off for like 6 months. But like, again, it was one of those things where I'm like, why did I let that guy do that? Like, that is so disrespectful. Like, I wasn't comfortable with like his advances. I should have just made it clear and just left. But like, at the time, I just felt weird saying no because I still thought he was like okay and that we could have conversations and stuff. Yeah,
Oh my
that was
God.
really not good because like then he like just took advantage of me a lot and it was just awful. I think it parallels with you where you're like kind of like in very like just wrong environments,
Hmm.
and that was a very wrong environment. Like it turned out like he was talking to multiple girls and like kind of doing similar things.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like I even got like the worst sore throat after dating him, and it was because he was like dating so many girls and he probably just gave me the sickness. Ew.
Ew, that's so gross. So
Yeah.
dirty.
Ugh, it was because I'm technically making out with like 3 other girls. Ugh. Dozing artist says gross. Yeah, totally gross. Guys, if
Yeah.
anyone comes up to you, makes you feel comfortable in the sense of like, well, just in general, you can leave. You can go. 100%. You have that power to just be like,